Welcome, I'm Eunice. Thank you for joining me on this journey of mastering our relaxation. This yoga stretch sequence is a whole body stretch for stress relief. Meet your body where it is today and grab any props that you may need for support and skip or modify anything that doesn't work for you today. We will begin seated on a block, a bolster, or a blanket. And remember, your body is the guru. Honor and listen to it. We're going to begin our practice with a breathing exercise called Nadi Shodhana. In yoga philosophy, this breathing exercise is used to balance the energies in the body, particularly the brain. And it is believed that there are two main channels of energy in the body: your yin, lunar energy, which is feminine energy, and your yang, solar energy, which is masculine energy. And it is believed that these channels come through each nostril and connect into the two hemispheres of the brain. And this practice is used to unlock and balance this energy. To begin our practice, we're going to take our right hand and take the index finger and the middle finger towards the palm. The ring finger will be used on the left nostril and the thumb will be used on the right nostril. You can also bring the index finger and the middle finger right to your third eye in between your eyebrows to rest there. We're going to begin on the right side. Push down on the left nostril, closing it off, and take an inhale through the right nostril. Then exhale out the right nostril. Take a nice long inhale through the right nostril. Hold, push down the thumb on the right nostril, release the left nostril, and exhale. Inhale through the left nostril, then close it off with the ring finger, release the thumb, and exhale out the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Hold, close it off with the thumb, and release the ring finger and exhale out the left side. Inhale through the left nostril. Close it with the ring finger, release the thumb, and exhale out the right side. Move at your own pace and continue with this cycle for a few more rounds of Nadi Shodhana. Find your last round of this breathing exercise. Release the right hand from the nostrils and rest it on the knee. And check in and see how your head feels, your forehead, the space in between the ears, the space between the eyebrows. We're going to move and take some seated cat-cows. On an inhale, gently pull back on the knees, arch the back, send the heart forward and the shoulders back. On an exhale, belly button towards the spine, round your back, pulling the shoulders down. Inhale, send the heart forward, arch the back. Exhale, round the upper back, belly button towards the spine. And move through a few more rounds of seated cat-cow. Bring the spine back to center and remove any props that you may have been sitting on. Stay seated, bring both soles of the feet to the ground, knees pointed up, and hug the knees in towards the chest. You can stay seated upright or round the back, resting the forehead on the knees. You can also rest the forehead on a pillow or a blanket, just pausing in a restorative posture. This posture is great for calming the blood pressure or bringing down any anxieties. We're going to do some seated cat-cows here also. On an inhale, arch the back, send the heart forward. Exhale, pull back on the knees to round. Inhale, pull on the knees and send the heart forward. Exhale, round belly button towards the spine. A few more times. Come upright to release and roll over the legs or swing the legs around to one side to come onto all fours for tabletop position. Stack the wrists right under the shoulders, keeping the hands shoulders distance apart and the knees right under the hips, knees or hips distance apart. And on an inhale, dip the belly down low, send the tailbone up, heart forward, shoulders back for cow. Exhale to push into the hands and shins, round the upper back for cat. Inhale, send the heart forward, shoulders back, tailbone up. Exhale, round through the upper back, belly button towards your spine. Move with your breath at your own pace and move through a few more cat-cows. Bring your spine back to a neutral position, releasing cat-cow, and move the knees back a little bit. We're going to make some large hip circles, just circling the hips in one direction, taking our time to lubricate the largest joint of the body, the hips. Take a pause and switch your hip rotations in the opposite direction. Release the hip circles and come back to center. And bring the big toes together and take the knees out as wide as the mat. We're going to take a child's pose. But first, just pause with the hands rested on the ground, keeping the upper body up. Use your exhalations to soften, release the hips, release the lower back, soften the shoulders. And then on your next exhale, you'll melt the heart center down towards the ground, resting your forehead on the ground, or you can use a prop here. Feel free to take a child's pose at any point during this yoga practice. Let's take our child's pose into a side stretch. On an inhale, lift the head and the upper body and walk the hands over to the left. The hands can come off the left side of the mat. Just make sure that the right hip stay plugged down. Relax the upper body, the back of the heart. Inhale, lift the head up, walk the hands through the center of the mat, and take the stretch over to the right side. Keep the hips heavy and down, and breathe into the left side of the body. Inhale, lift the head and bring the upper body back to center. Bring the knees a little bit closer towards each other and just rest the head down in your child's pose. We're going to move through an upward dog child's pose flow. On an inhale, round through the upper back, come forward, and then exhale, lie down onto the stomach. Bring the hands by the lower ribs, plug the elbows in towards the spine, and then inhale into your upward dog. Exhale, push back into child's pose. Inhale, round forward, and then exhale to lie down onto the ground. And then take another inhale, send the heart forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips back, child's pose. Inhale, round forward, and then exhale to lie flat on the stomach. Take another inhale, send the heart forward, push up. Exhale into your child's pose. Move at your own pace, link your breath with the movement, and move through this flow a few more times. Feel the strength of your arms. Feel the movement of the spine and the hips. Move like water. We're going to release our flow and stay here on our stomach. We're going to move into Sphinx pose. Grab the opposite elbows and stack the elbows under the shoulders. And send the fingertips towards the front of the mat. Wiggle the hips just to make sure you're not clenching your buttocks. Let the belly relax into the ground. Draw the shoulders back and the heart forward. Keep the chin down so that the back of the neck is long and soft. You can remain upright here in Sphinx or move into a quad stretch. Bend the right knee and send the right heel towards the buttocks. Grab a hold of either the ankle or the foot, staying here, drawing the right shoulder down. Or to move deeper, you'll just melt the head down to the ground. Lengthen your tailbone by pushing the hips into the ground and feel how that switches on the muscles of the quadriceps. Gently release the foot, making sure not to slingshot it back, and let's move over to the other side. Bend the left knee in, grab a hold of the left foot or the left ankle. Send the chest and the heart forward and then melt the forehead down. And make sure you're drawing both shoulder heads away from the ears. Gently release the left leg down and bring the hands towards the lower ribs. Push into the ground to come up into all fours. Spread the fingers out wide, keeping the hands shoulders distance apart. Tuck the toes under and push the hips back and up for downward facing dog. Send your heart center towards the upper thighs and keep a nice generous bend in the knees if the back body is tight. And you can always stay still or stretch more into the back body and the feet by pedaling out through the feet and the legs. We're going to incorporate a side stretch while we're in our downward facing dog to get into the muscles and the connective tissues of the side of the body. Come up onto your tippy toes and then send the heels over to the left side, keeping the shoulders squared. On an inhale, come back to center, come up onto the toes, and then send the heels over to the right, stretching into the left side of the body. Inhale, bring the hips back to center. Take a pause in your downward dog. Inhale, bend the right knee and send the right knee up. The right heel points to the left. We're going to come into wild thing. Exhale to gently drop the right foot behind you, supporting the body on the left hand and the side of the left foot. Send the right arm up overhead. Send the chest forward. Take an exhale, set the hips down and come to a seated position, keeping the left leg long and bending the right knee. The right sole of the foot comes to rest on the inner left thigh. Take an inhale, draw the arms up overhead. Exhale, twist over to the right. Left hand rests on the right knee, right hand behind the lower back. Inhale, undo your twist and come forward. Take an inhale to sit up upright, find a nice long spine. Exhale, hinge from the hips and grab a hold of the shin, the ankle, or the foot. You can always use a yoga strap here and wrap it around the arch of the foot. Soften the right knee down and send the heart forward. We're going to inhale to release and move backwards from the posture we came from. Set the left hand behind you, set the right foot down and push back up into wild thing, and then just swing over and find your downward facing dog. Let's move over to the other side. We're gonna bend into the left knee, send the left knee up, send the left heel over towards the right, Exhale to gently place the left leg behind you, pushing into the right hand, sending the left arm up overhead for Wild Thing. Take an inhale to release Wild Thing, set the hips down. Extend the right leg long, bring the left sole of the foot to the inner right thigh. Take an inhale, send the arms up overhead. Exhale, twist over towards the right, placing the left hand behind the hips. Send the shoulders down, send the crown of the head up. Inhale to release, come back to center. Take an inhale, sit up tall. And then exhale, hinge from the hips, melt the heart forward. Draw the shoulders down and see if you can maintain a flat back. Take an inhale to release, come back upright, set the right hand behind you. We're gonna come back into Wild Thing, push into the left foot, push into the right foot, and then just swing the body over and come back into Downward Facing Dog. Take an inhale and set the knees down and come to a seated position. We're gonna take Butterfly Pose, Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet together, interlace the fingers around the feet, creating a basket with the hands. You can also place blocks under the knees here. Roll the shoulders back and down, send the heart forward. Exhale to release the knees, soften the hips. Grow tall through your spine and the crown of your head, and breathe into the hips. On your next inhalation, release the right leg over to the side, extend the leg long, keep the left heel in towards the groin, flex the right toes towards the face, and set the hands in front of the left leg. You can stay upright or you can fold forward, hinging from the hips, and keep the spine long and draw the shoulders away from the ears. Work to plug both hips into the ground. On your next inhale, release. Extend the left leg off to the side, flexing the left toes. Draw the right heel in towards the groin, and you could stay upright here, or you could fold forward, hinging from the hips. Make sure both hips are rooted down. Soften the right knee, soften your shoulders, and soften the face. Inhale, bring the upper body upright. Extend the right leg long, leaving the left leg as is. And you can move the fleshy parts of the thighs and the buttocks up out of the way. Flex the toes towards the face, and you can always stay upright. Or exhale to hinge forward and fold forward. Use your exhalations to soften the hips and soften the shoulders. Keep a straight spine. Inhale, come upright, bend into the knees and release. Let's find our way onto our backs. Bring the soles of the feet onto the ground and take the feet as wide as your mat. We're going to move into some gentle spinal twists. When you find your next exhalation, drop the knees over towards the left. And then inhale, draw them through center and drop them over to the right as you exhale. And you'll just move back and forth like this, lubricating the hips and stretching the muscles of the spine, just linking your breath and your movement. Inhale to release, come back to center, drawing both knees in towards the chest. And you can grab a hold of the back of the thighs, the shins. You can interlace your fingers around them, or you can hug the knees in with your forearm. And roll back and forth so that you can massage the backs of the hips and the back body. grab a hold of the pinky edges of the feet, bringing the soles of the feet together, and push the knees away from the shoulders. And you can always stay here in this hip stretch, or to move deeper, you can open up into happy baby pose, taking the knees out wide and drawing the knees down towards the ground. And you can always hold your happy baby in stillness, or you can rock from side to side, testing your balance and massaging out the back body a little bit more. And if you feel called to do so in your body today, you can begin to invite a hamstring stretch by extending one leg long, keeping the opposite leg bent, and then bending that leg and extending the opposite leg long, just getting more into the hip and the hamstrings. Then maybe you lengthen out both legs, stretching deeper into the hamstrings. Release the legs down, and let's find our final resting pose, corpse pose, Shavasana. You have the option to take it like this, spreading the body out, take the legs out wide, take the arms out wide. Or you can join me for a reclined butterfly. Bring the soles of the feet together, placing blocks under the knees. Relax the back body, the lower back into the ground. Tuck the shoulder blades under the upper back. Roll the shoulders open and back. Palms of the hands face up. Let the body grow soft. Scan the body from the toes. Soften the shins, the knees. Let the muscles of the upper leg grow heavy. Let go of any holding in the hips, the stomach. Soften your heart center, your chest, your collarbones. Soften the neck. Soften your fingers, the forearms, the upper arm. Release any holding in the jaw, around the eyes. Let the corners of the eyes melt towards the ears and soften the space between the eyebrows. Soften the crown of the head. Soften the whole head. Let's release our Shavasana by inviting small movements into the fingers and the toes. And if you were in reclined butterfly, you'll just bring the hands to the outer thighs and help the knees back together. Stretch the body out long, activating and bringing sensation back to the body, and find your way to lie on your side. Take a moment to pause and extend gratitude to yourself for showing up for your mind, your body, and your spirit. As you inhale, keep the gaze soft or the eyes closed and push up to your seated positioning, finding Sukhasana, easy seated pose. Take a moment to scan, check in with your inner world, check in with your body and how it feels. On an inhale, sweep the arms out, around, and up. The palms come to touch overhead, and then rest the palms on the forehead as a reminder that you are the master of your Zen. Palms come to rest at the lips as a reminder to communicate our truth with authenticity and kindness. Palms come to rest at the heart center as a reminder to know thyself and love thyself. Thank you for practicing with me. Peace and ease to you. If you enjoyed this session and it helped you, please share it with someone that it can help. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be aware of when I post. Until next time.